Hello, happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome back to the Mediavine Summer of Live. Someday I will be as cool as the cartoon version of me in that opening. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but it's pretty cool. The graphic designers, Charlotte, is amazing. She made that video. So we were dark last week with the national holiday. So I hope that everybody had a wonderful and safe time last week. But no matter how many sparklers you lit or didn't, or if you got lit or didn't, whatever happened, we love that you are back with us today, hungry for more content creation knowledge to help you grow your business. And have we got a great episode for you today? I'm Jenny Guy. I'm happy to be hosting this program and sitting here with two Mediavine colleagues who are both ready to melt our faces off with great tips for the product that has all the features and does all the things. That is right. It is Grow. And from increasing your earnings to growing your subscriber list, it does it all. And my guests today are here with proof. So please join me in welcoming back to the show Product Manager for Grow, Sam Seeley, and VP and Strategic Advisor of Publisher Success, Nicole Johnson. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for being here.
Hello. Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you for coming back. I'm actually going to read really impressive things about both of you for a moment, and then I will be right back with you. But Sam Seeley joined Mediavine in 2019 as a support specialist supporting Mediavine products. In 2020, she joined the product team as a product manager for all things related to Grow. She lives in the Hudson Valley of New York with her precious pup Penny and her husband Joe. She enjoys cooking, photography, and playing all of the video games. She is the cutest little pupper, Penny, and we're glad that Penny isn't necessarily with us right this second, but we love that she's available for our needs of puppy pictures. And Nicole Johnson joined Mediavine in 2016 as the Director of Publisher Support and is now the VP and Strategic Advisor of Publisher Success. In addition to all of the amazing things she does for Mediavine Pubs, she's actually a blogger herself. She started her site, Or Whatever You Do, over 10 years ago, where she posts delicious recipes ranging from tortilla soup, no-wrap pork ribs, homemade guacamole, the list goes on. And believe me when I say they are delicious, and now I'm hungry again. So the recipes are terrific. We wanted to give you perspective from inside and then inside outside, which Nicole has. So it's very unique, and we're really excited to get your questions. So if you have them today, please make sure to put them in the comments and I will get them to Nicole and Sam. And guys, I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And it's not only because I love you both, but Grow is a whole lot and can be challenging to master and maximize. But I cannot imagine two better people to guide us. So before I dive in with Sam and Nicole to talk all things Grow, I'm going to push a question out to our viewers, which is, are you currently using Grow on your website? And if yes, what is the most successful feature for you? What works the best for you right now in getting those people to sign up and subscribe? Now, ladies, let's dive in. I know you've been asked this question a million times, but I want to make sure that everyone is on the same page. What is Grow? Why does it matter for our audience of content creators? And why are you here talking to about us? Basically, how do you work with Grow? Tell us more about your jobs. So I will start out with Sam and then move to Nicole.
So the way that I like to explain Grow is that it's a creator tool set that helps creators by offering a whole bunch of different features so that you can engage and enhance your relationship with your readers and your audience. Grow helps creators gain subscribers and authenticated traffic. And that's kind of how I lead with Grow.
Love that. Thank you. Nicole, same question to you.
I think Sam did a great job describing what Grow is and what Grow does. I've really enjoyed implementing it far and wide across my site. It's currently on every post that I have in some way, shape, or form. It's one of my favorite things about the site, and it's done insane things for my subscriber growth. I think before I started utilizing Grow, I had tried a bunch of different methods for lead capture, but none of them have been as effective as the combination of the current Grow features that I've been using. Not even like super annoying, invasive, like can't click out of them without subscribing pop-ups that I used to use way back when.
And we're going to go further into those features and how Nicole is using them in combination to get these great results. But before we get there, I just want to redirect a little bit here. So Sam said authenticated traffic, and we've got emails, subscriber lists. We've got a lot of different feeds. We've got recommended content. We've got, so all of those things are Grow. Is that right? And that's operating in service of what? Sam, could you tell us, what does that mean?
Are you alluding to third-party cookies?
Yes, just more that's part of it, but also it does so many things. It grows your email list, it grows your relationship with your audience, it grows your revenue, but it also helps prepare you for things like the death of third-party cookies. So
yes,
it's all of those
things. Yes.
Right.
So many things.
It's so many things. Grows it all. Nicole, anything from you that help maybe an elevate, like something to make it simple in a nutshell? What is it for you, and what is it meant for you and your website?
Well, for me, it is really kind of giving me some peace of mind knowing that I'm already working to establish the relationships that I'm going to need with my readers to ensure that I can continue to monetize my site effectively, even after cookies go away. Like, my goal right now is to get as many of my readers as possible onto Grow and into my whole authenticated traffic percentages, so that once those cookies go away, it's going to be a pretty seamless transition, because like the longer you wait, the longer it's going to take for you to build up that percentage of authenticated traffic. So I'm hoping for my site, when third-party cookies go away, my revenue is going to increase. It already is increasing because of that authenticated traffic. It's already worth more. So it's a good thing to kind of future-proof my business.
That's a really great way to break it down. So when you say authenticated traffic, those are people who sign up for Grow, basically, through all these different avenues that we provide with the features.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. And that means we're going to be able to serve them personalized ads now, which are worth more than even what we have with the cookies. And also later, when the cookies are gone, we're going to have that permission to do that. So, right? Do I have that right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Okay, good. Because sometimes I try to explain it and I'm like, okay, we have a lot of different questions, and I'm gonna actually jump in right here with this one with Lori. Lori asks, I get confused between Grow and Grow Social, or are they the same? Do either of you feel like you want to jump in and tackle that one?
Sure. So
you.
Grow Social has social share options for, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, and a ton more, right? Grow itself has other options in terms of subscribe features, exclusive content. We are going to be working to make them work together and, make that a little bit less confusing for you.
So they're on the way to being the same thing. Is that pretty accurate right now?
Yes, coming close.
They're coming close. They're best friends. They're gonna be best friends.
And so the goals are somewhat different, because with Grow Social, it was all about social sharing. That was it in a nutshell. We wanted to provide that, a lightweight plugin that helped with social sharing. With Grow, and social sharing can play into what Grow does, but Grow's core goal is to help you get those relationships with your audience so they will consent to being served personalized ads, but also grow your email list and all those things. They're different products with different goals at their base. Is that fair to say?
That's definitely fair to say. I think that we hope to make them a little bit more in sync with each other. We want to provide other tools that will allow you to use social share and kind of still get value out of it with authenticated traffic and other ideas that we kind of have brewing. But yeah, they're going to be best friends. soon.
Awesome. Because social is another way to have that relationship with your audience. It's another way to extend beyond just one post, right?
Yeah, it's another piece to the puzzle, and it's another tool in your bag, in your tool bag.
Yeah.
Your toolkit.
Your toolkit. That's what I mean. You could have a bag or a kit. Really, it's up to you. It's fine. Okay. So I think we're getting a lot of questions about how to use it, and it's kind of overwhelming. And I have it turned on, but I'm not using any features. So I would like to, if it's okay with you guys, just dive right in and start talking about specific features that are working for you. Would that be okay? And guys, we'll come back to your questions. Don't worry, we will. But is that? I wanted to start out with. And I wanted to let everybody know that we're going to be doing some visual aids, because who doesn't love a visual aid or a video? And we're using Nicole's site or whatever you do to show some examples of how Grow works and how it looks in action. So let's start out here. What is exclusive content? Because it's been our latest and greatest big feature that is new that's come out, and it can feed into other features. So Sam, if you wanna start out there, and then we will show a video of what exclusive content looks like. So
yeah, exclusive content will help a creator basically lock a specific piece of content on their post as exclusive. So in order to unlock it as a reader, I would have to sign up for Grow and also agree to subscribe to that site, so that you guys, like the publisher, the creator, will get that onto that email onto their subscriber list. So it does two things. It builds your subscriber list, and it also starts to build that Grow relationship with your reader. You can lock a variety of things. Nicole has seen great success, which I will let her explain, with locking recipes. You can also lock printable content and all kinds of other freebies, and really anything that you think is valuable to somebody that they would sign in for and agree to be on your list would be a good contender for the exclusive content feature.
Love that. Okay, Nicole, are we ready for our first video?
Sure.
Let's do it. Let's show it to them. All right, here we go.
So on Or Whatever You Do, I have 40 posts now that comprise most of my traffic at the moment. So they're like my 40 most popular posts. And I have locked just the recipe card on those posts. So this is showing you what it looks like when it's locked, and you can customize that widget so it shows whatever you want. I've got it framed as an Or Whatever You Do plus, like that's powered by Grow. So it's less confusing for readers. They know they're signing up for something on my site, and it's just powered by Grow. And this is how they sign up. It's very easy to do. It gets unlocked very easily. You get the subscribe, and then they can see the recipe card. By unlocking that content, they've unlocked all of my premium content. I have this specific form in Grow linked to a specific form in ConvertKit. So as soon as they sign up on that, they're going to get an email that says, welcome to Or Whatever You Do Plus. Here's a link to all of the premium content that you can now access. What we're seeing here is a little bit of an information page about what Or Whatever You Do Plus is. So if someone gets to that locked recipe and they're like, what is this and why is it locked? I've inserted a little reusable block in Gutenberg that says, what is this? And it links to an information page that we just saw there. It gives it some context for people that are just curious as to what they're signing up for. I make a point for my own site to make sure they know what they're signing up for is free, and it's always going to be free. We're not like, it's not a free trial. We're not going to try to upsell them in the future. The account is free. It's all free. You just have a couple clicks to sign up with that, and then they get all of these benefits. They get the bookmarking, so they can bookmark all of the favorite recipes on my site and any other sites that use Grow. They'll be able to bookmark. They get all of that exclusive content. They get signed up for the email list. They get all of my ebooks, which I've started adding, if you want to show that video,
Absolutely,
as exclusive content on posts that I don't have the recipe cards locked. So for myself, I don't lock my brand new content because that's the content I'm really promoting heavily. I want everyone who wants to access it to be able to access it. But I've started embedding these niche specific ebooks in those posts so I can capture some of those people as well. So it's very easy to do. I just put the exclusive content code around an image for the ebook, and then I link a button to a Dropbox download. And in the future, Sam's going to talk a little bit more about this later. We'll have an integrated way to provide downloadables like this via Grow. But you can start doing it right now on posts if you want to. It's very easy. I just created that once as a reusable block, and I can insert that into any posts I want.
Awesome. Okay, we are getting so many questions and so many thoughts from people, but I wanted to come back here and say, Nicole, is it a good time to talk about the results that you've been seeing when you combine those things? Because it's pretty telling, I would say.
It really is. I've been very excited at the growth there. My email list grew by over 500% after I started implementing exclusive content plus our Spotlight subscribe feature, which we're going to talk about in a little bit here. It's been really amazing. My overall subscribers have gone up so much. I'm finally getting ConvertKit to pay for itself with all the clicks that I'm getting from the emails I'm sending from all these new subscribers. It's very easy to do. If you have different niches that you focus on, you can set up different forms targeted directly to those niches. It's very slick, and it's been, as this graphic, you can see how crazy the growth has been. The pop-ups I was running there, that in the yellow, I was not doing them right at all. For quite a few months, you literally could not see my content unless you signed up, because I had it set up wrong. Not great. It converted well, but as you can imagine, I lost a lot of those subscribers because they didn't actually want to sign up. That's not been my experience at all while running the Spotlight subscribe plus exclusive content combo. I've had very great results and very few people with any negative feedback.
Okay, I'm going to go to one more. We've got another evidence slide here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see. 3 years ago, I had less than 3,000 people on my list, and now it's over 33,000. I think I've topped 34,000 now after the last week or so. So I'm pretty happy with those results.
That is crazy and wonderful. I love that. Okay, we are getting a bunch of different questions here, but I want to talk about, since we've already started talking about Spotlight subscribe in connection with exclusive content. Sam, will you tell us what is Spotlight subscribe?
Yeah, Spotlight subscribe was our first subscribe feature. What it does is it's all about capturing leads. So we want to capture those email addresses, and it's basically a subscribe form that will display on your site auto-magically as we've tested placements. And then as the user scrolls, as the reader scrolls that form into view, Spotlight subscribe will actually darken and highlight or really spotlight the form to catch the attention of the reader.
Excellent. And let's show what that looks like, shall we? What is Spotlight subscribe, what it looks like? I love it. We use it on the Mediavine corporate site too, because it works, y'all. I'm here to tell you, it works.
Yeah, people really seem to like this. And I have different forms set up for my different little sub niches, so they're getting exactly what they want. In those forms, I have those connected to specific other forms in ConvertKit, so that they're getting my email sequences that are targeted to the niche they sign up for. So if they're on a grilling recipe, when they sign up via Spotlight subscribe or exclusive content, they're getting my grilling email series. If they're on griddle content, they're getting griddle content. If they're on anything else, they get kind of a general email sequence where they get to choose their own adventure, where like are you here? Do you grill? Click this and you'll be added to my grilling form. Do you griddle? Click this one. It's very easy to do with most email clients.
I love the choose your own adventure, email that you've set up. It's so cool. I also want to use this opportunity to tease a little bit of Spotlight Subscribe's upcoming features. We are working on category targeting, so that you can make what Nicole's doing with those specific targeting of the different grilling categories a little bit easier, so you don't have to manually place those forms. And I just kind of wanted to do that a little early. So
yeah, hey, you're in charge.
I'm so excited for that. I've been using like a combination of a third-party plugin to kind of insert those via category, but it's a little finicky, and the Grow integrated features is so much easier to use. I'm so pumped.
Okay, we have a ton of questions in here. We're going to come back to the Grow versus Slickstream question in a little bit, but I want to say we have somebody who says, they asked, where do I find Grow to add to my site? And we had someone answer them in the comments. They said they're looking in the WordPress plugin library or repo, but they're not finding it. Sam, where could they find Grow, and who is Grow for?
Grow is for the world now. So anyone who has a website can use Grow. You no longer need to be strictly a Mediavine publisher. So if you have a second site that you'd like to add, if you go to grow.me/publishers, you can sign up through our new publisher portal and get access to all of the Grow things.
So it's for everybody, anybody who creates content and is interested in increasing that relationship with their readers, growing their list, growing their revenue eventually. Awesome. Okay. We have a question from Gina. How does Google read locked content? In other words, is it going to hurt your SEO to be locking some of this content down?
We worked with Google. Oh, sorry, Nicole.
No, go ahead.
We worked with Google's free wall paywall schema to make sure that it will not impact your SEO whatsoever.
And I've been tracking this very intensely through Search Console, and I've tracked dates that I've locked content. And obviously there's always going to be shifts because Google is Google, but I have not seen any kind of negative trends in my ranking on my locked content at all.
That is a relief, because it's a reasonable thought to worry about, but it's good to know that we're working hand in hand with Google as we develop these tools and with their things set out. So, all right, does Grow work with other email marketing, for instance, like MailerLite? Sam, this is a great question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, currently we have a ConvertKit integration. We are actively working on MailerLite and MailChimp. So yes, very soon.
And there's the Zapier integration.
Yeah. There you go. Nicole, talk about that one.
A bunch of things. Yeah, I used Zapier before we had the ConvertKit integration, and it's super easy to set up, and it's slick, and it's inexpensive. So I would not suggest waiting until your specific ESP gets or potentially gets an integration to set this up. There's also the option of just manually downloading the list and uploading it as well. If you want to skip the Zapier step, that's also totally fine. It takes about 30 seconds, so it's not going to add a lot of friction to your daily workload.
We've got a couple of questions about this. This is one where they love the Grow exclusive content. It's been great for getting new newsletter subscribers, but they already have a very engaged and large newsletter list. Locked content really confuses, upsets them because they've already signed up for the newsletter. Any ideas for getting them to engage with Grow? Then we had another question from somebody who was saying, I wish there was a way to add current subscribers to Grow so they didn't get mad at the locked content and have to sign up again. So is there any feedback on that or any suggestions, Nicole or Sam? Yeah.
Well, we can't really add the current subscribers to Grow automatically because we need their specific consent. So that's not a thing that we're able to do because of legal reasons. But what I've been doing when I feature a piece of locked content in my email newsletter is I add a little blurb to the bottom, like, you are subscribed to my email list, but I've started this, or whatever you do. Plus, this is how you sign up. It's very easy. Since you're already a subscriber, it's a couple of clicks, and then you'll get access to all these things. So it's kind of a little blurb on the bottom that's a condensed version of that info page. And I really tried to frame it like this is the way that this website is going to carry on. So if you like my recipes, you've subscribed to them, you like my content. So if you'd like to keep seeing this content, this is a really easy, free way to be able to support the site.
That is great messaging and communicating. And I think when people sometimes hear exclusive content or locking content down, they get in their minds, I don't know. And I always pick on the New York Times, and I'm sorry. I love the New York Times. I read it all the time. I was grabbed over Thanksgiving for their New York Times recipes, but we think of that. We think about, you click on the article, you go, and then you have to pay. And that's not what we're doing here. What we're actually doing is an effort to not have to do that in order to keep these sites free and keep the web open. Do either of you have any comments to contribute to that? I talk a lot, so I might have said it all for you, but just let me know.
Yeah, I think you hit it perfectly.
That is a very good point. That's usually what I say to the very few negative comments I've gotten about locked content tend to be on Pinterest, in comments on pins that are like, you have to log in to see this content. So I respond to them and just explain, like, this is a small percentage of my content. I have over 1,000 recipes. There's only 40 that are locked. If you'd like to see this, it's 2 clicks. And this is the alternative to you paying actual money to see this, which we don't want to make you do. And it's gone over very well. And it's such a small number of people. I think overall, I've maybe gotten 10 of those comments on Pinterest the whole time I've been running exclusive content. So for me, it's not really a huge factor, because I don't make decisions about the future of my business based on like a fraction of a percentage of people. Like, ultimately, if people aren't willing to, to double click something to access free content, they're really not my people. So there's lots of people that are willing, and they can go somewhere else.
Yeah. And a lot of the comments I've heard with relation to exclusive content or fears are literally the same fears that you have when you're first putting ads on your site. Right. People are going to hate it. They're not going to want to do it. But at the same time, you don't want to work for free. So when people say that, I don't want these ads, you're like, but there's not many of them, 1. And 2, the content is free. So what? Stop.
Right. My goal is to have a successful long-term business. And to reach that goal, I need to make money on the business. And I would rather charge brands that money through advertising than charge people that money, because we all know that, like, people don't really want to pay for content. That, like you mentioned, the New York Times, their subscription model is not going all that well. So if they can't get the New York Times readers to pay for stuff, how am I going to get, or whatever you do, people to pay for stuff? I don't think I will. So I'm liking our free alternative.
And it's not much for, it's very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
Question here. In the Grow dashboards, where do I actually see the email addresses of the people that subscribe via Grow? Sam, can you answer that one?
Yeah, there's, under the subscribe settings section, there is a CSV download option. I believe it's on the top right under a global section. You can download your CSV, and then you'll have a list of all of your subscribers, and even some like kind of analytics information for you. You can see like what form they subscribed on and what page they were on at the time that they subscribed, and other information there.
Perfect. Another quick one real quick. Lori says, can any WordPress block be enabled for Spotlight Subscribe?
Spotlight Subscribe, that one isn't a WordPress block. I think you're referring to exclusive content, and you should be able to block almost any content with exclusive content. You just have to make sure it's tall enough for the widget to fit over. Like, if you try to block just one line of text, or if you try to lock just a button, that's not big enough for the widget to display. So that's why in that example we showed earlier, when I locked an ebook, I put an image of the ebook in front of the button to give it some space to display that widget.
Okay, an additional question from Laura. Can you please explain again how you give the subscribers your free ebook download? I'm in beta for the Grow ConvertKit integration, and since I am no longer using ConvertKit forms, my subscribers are not getting the free download. Nicole, that would be excellent if you could help with that.
Sure. So what I do is for every Grow form that I make, so I have, for example, my Traeger exclusive content form. I have a form specifically for the ebook. And then I create a form in ConvertKit that's the same name, and it doesn't matter what it looks like because that ConvertKit form is not going to display. It's only for tracking purposes. And then I connect the Grow form to that ConvertKit form. So you can actually still use that ConvertKit double opt-in with the download with Grow, as long as you set it up in the settings and connect it to that specific ConvertKit form in the settings there.
Awesome. And sounds like a help doc to me.
Yes. How I do it is different though, because I don't do the double opt-ins. I just let them subscribe without having to confirm. And so that's why I've specifically in the example we showed, I did an image and then a button, and then I just uploaded my ebook to Dropbox and put a share link on that button so that as soon as they unlock it, they can just click that button and it'll take them to Dropbox where they can download it. And then I don't have to worry about the double confirm.
Betsy says, if they sign up on multiple genres, do they get multiple emails?
Well, you can only sign up and subscribe once via Grow. So that's part of the reason why I include that welcome email, so they can opt into multiple email sequences. So for me, if they sign up on a Blackstone recipe, they're automatically going to be opted into my Blackstone sequence. But my first initial welcome to, or whatever you do, plus email gives them the option to also subscribe to the Traeger email sequence, or whatever niches you can apply that to. You can give them the option, because once they subscribe, they're not going to see the Spotlight subscribe forms if they're logged in via Grow. So you can't really subscribe multiple times to the same list. So you want to build your sequences out to take that into consideration so that they have the option if they want.
Okay. We've talked about this a little bit, but Sam, will you hit this one, please?
Yep. Grow is now open to the entire internet. So you can go to grow.me/publishers and you'll be able to sign up through the sign up link there.
And we will make sure that, so the question from Alexander was, is Grow open to non-Mediavine publishers at this time? I don't yet qualify, but I'd like to get ahead of these issues. Alexander, you are very smart. We're glad that you're wanting to get ahead and protect the revenue now and your future revenue, whether you're monetizing with ads yet or not. You know you want to someday. And that is really smart to be building up that authenticated traffic now. We will make sure that the grow.me/publishers link is included in our resources doc that we will give for everybody at the end, along with all of these links to all of these informational videos and blog posts and all of the resources that we have. But yes, it is free. You can get it on your site. Are there any restrictions on features that people can play with, or do they have to pay later down the line right now? Like what's going on, Sam? Tell us more.
There are no restrictions on specific features, and their Grow is totally free to use. So all good, all free,
Yeah.
all good.
Yes, I love it. All free, all good. Okay, we've talked about Spotlight Subscribe. We've talked about exclusive content. I want to talk about recommended content, which is another really great way to increase, basically, I call it a metrics booster. It makes all of your stats in Google Analytics really shine. So Sam, what is recommended content? And I will start that video too.
Yeah, recommended content is a way to increase your click-through rate and get more people on different pages of your site. So to get additional clicks to new posts, recommended content is displayed on your site in a few different places, and it is also based on reader interest. So we have a few different placements. On the right, there's the sidebar, and then going a little bit further, there's the inline content here. And then if you are on mobile, you will see the what's next on the bottom right-hand corner. And then also on desktop, the header carousel. I don't know if this video has that, but
it doesn't. I don't have that one enabled.
That's okay. Yeah. So there are two other placements that are mobile and desktop specific, and those will get people clicking on other page views.
So Sam, if I want to go enable recommended content, do I have to enable each one of these individually? Is there one that I should definitely enable?
Yes, you do have to go enable them individually, but you should definitely enable the inline recommended content. It sees the most click-through rate, the highest click-through rate that we have seen. The header carousel and what's next actually does pretty well as well. So I would definitely, if you're not a fan of the header carousel, definitely toggle on the inline recommended content.
Is there a reason not to turn on all of them? Is there such
you could definitely turn on all of them. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't a reason they weren't going to cross each other. Okay, great.
Nope, they all kind of like recognize each other, and what's next will move out of the way of other things on the page, so your adhesion ad and your video ads won't be like impacted at all. Grow is smart.
They all play nicely, and the nice thing about it is, as we are also a full service ad management provider, or that is what we do, we're not going to cause anything to not play nicely with the other thing. We're going to make sure that all of it flows in a great way. Nicole, how has recommended content performed for you on Or Whatever You Do?
It's done great. I love those features. Any second clicks that I can get from people, I will take, because especially in the recipe niche, it's pretty, people tend to bounce in and look at it for a little bit and then leave again. So the more you can keep them on your site and engaged, the more chances they have to subscribe, to actually make something from the site. Like, you want the time on page to be higher, and recommended content definitely helps with that.
Yes, that metrics boost that we were talking about just a second ago. Okay, finally, what is the Bookmarks favorite feature? I can imagine that plays pretty well with your Or Whatever You Do Plus users.
It does. It's the little heart bubble you see in the bottom right of the page on desktop and mobile. Anytime they're on a post, they can hit that little heart and it'll save it to their own bookmarks area. It's a very good way to save things you want to reference again in the future without having to muck up your browser bookmarks, which I don't know if you guys have messy browser bookmarks, but mine are like, they're from like 12 years ago. Their sites, most of the sites don't even exist. Like, I still have like Angel Fire sites bookmarked. I'm never going to organize that. I'm not. So this is much cleaner.
And it's also, they can do that on your site. And then since Grow is a single sign-on, they can then do it on other sites that are using Grow. And I don't know about, actually, this is a question for the audience that I wasn't planning on. Is anyone else starting to see Grow on other sites? We were talking about it on the marketing and comms team the other day, and everybody just keeps going, I see it, I see it, I see it, I see it. And everybody, we get so excited when we notice it. Sam, can you explain the concept of single sign-on and why it's a benefit for everyone that's using Grow?
Sure. So if I'm on Or Whatever You Do and I sign up because I want a piece of like the exclusive content, I want to see the recipe that Nicole has locked, and I log in and I create a Grow account, and then I go to another site, and then I am already logged in, and I can I'll be like able to use Grow on that site as well. And so we're all kind of connected. We're all in this together, and we're all, the authenticated traffic is then, on all of the sites and not just one single site.
And we're not the New York Times. Like, that's the point, where we're independent content creators, and we can pool those resources together. You're forming that relationship with the audience, but as they travel to other sites, it's all very exciting. And I would love to continue on the exciting train and talk about some of what might be coming down the pipe, because we talked about exclusive content. We've talked about Spotlight Subscribe. We've talked about recommended content. We talked about favorites and bookmarking. What is coming? What's next? Sam, we'll start with you.
So we are going to start working on a feature to allow our users to effectively add downloadables or freebies or digital downloads, opt-in incentives. You know, there are so many names for what this is. And I know somebody asked about this earlier as well. And we're going to streamline that experience so that you can create a subscribe form that will hook up to a specific, you know, PDF or, you know, whatever you want to offer for free as that opt-in incentive. And then that will just get, you know, kind of streamlined and sent to the reader directly. So that is a very exciting feature that we can't wait to start working on.
Amazing. Nicole, what else do we have coming?
MailerLite and MailChimp integrations, I hear, are coming down the line.
And then there's another thing that's coming up that we talked about a long time ago that people got very excited about, and it actually is becoming a reality pretty soon. Sam, will you tell us about it?
That is our auto mailer feature, is effectively a newsletter light for people who don't have a list yet, who don't actually have the capacity or the time to sit down and create a whole welcome sequence or, you know, anything like that. And it's basically, you know, an RSS style email that's going to use recommended content in order to send your readers and users that subscribe on your site posts that they'll be interested in, and new posts as you create them as well. And we're super excited about this because it means that people who don't have newsletters can actually use Spotlight Subscribe and our other subscribe features that are coming up.
The other nice thing, which Nicole asked a question about, since she's already doing emailing to some of her lists, it doesn't mean that she can't use the auto mailer. So Nicole, can you explain how that might work together?
I am excited to find out how that might work together. I will happily offload some of the work of emailing people to Grow very, very happily. It doesn't take a long time, but anything I can cross off my task list on a daily basis, I am down for, because, you know, it's hard to run a blog and have a job and have a family and all the things that we all have to do in a day. Like I'm very excited to see how that looks. And I hear that the auto mailer newsletter is going to also make like intelligent recommendations based on the user's email address and interaction on the site. I hear that's potentially a thing. So I'm very excited about that, because that is not something that's even possible for me when I'm manually creating my newsletters. So that's very fun. It's going to be very fun.
Artificial intelligence, it is real, and we're going to be using it, and we're going to help get your readers back onto your site. That is the point. The point of Grow is to keep them around longer and then to make them come back again. That is the whole point of all of these different features. Okay. There's also something I heard about, potentially a link in bio, maybe?
Yeah, so and the name is totally tentative, but it's, you know, those link in bio things that Instagram and TikTokers have, and they're like, hey, the link's in my bio. We're going to build something like that. We're also going to have subscribe on there and some recommended content, and it's going to be really good. I'm really excited about that one.
Yes, I'm also very excited. We had a question before, and I wanted to call attention to it. We're going a little bit long. Thank you, ladies, so much for all of your willingness to answer these questions. We say, how do you know recommended content is benefiting your site? Are there data analytics somewhere? Nicole, how do you know?
There are. If you look in your Google Analytics, in the events section, you're going to see a whole bunch of Grow related events. So you can drill down in there and see exactly how many clicks or events are firing based on how the users are actually interacting with Grow.
And that's for today, but coming in the future, Sam, what do we have?
We're going to build out some analytics and the actual Grow Publisher portal for everyone so that they can see exactly how Grow is working on your site.
So it's coming. It's all coming soon. And in terms of time estimates, are we talking about 2023, 2024 for a lot of these things we've been talking about?
A lot of these things are on our very soon roadmap, meaning meaning Q3 and Q4 of this year.
Very exciting. Features coming out left and right. We are loving it. Okay. So I'm going to do some rapid fire questions for just to make sure we get these things covered. So Sam, will Grow slow down people's sites?
Absolutely not. We have built Grow with speed in mind and optimized it in all places.
Okay. Nicole, we just talked about this a little bit. How can you track your progress? We know it's coming for the dashboard, but there is a way to do it now. It's kind of a hack. Can we share the help doc for that?
Yes, please. Let's share the help doc for that. The Google Analytics events are the best way to track your progress. I explained a little bit earlier, I really use this forms in ConvertKit linked to individual forms in Grow to see how many subscribers I'm getting per form. So every day, if I go into ConvertKit, I can go into the subscriber forms area and I can just hover over them and see like, whoa, my exclusive content did crazy good yesterday, or whoa, that ebook is getting way more downloads than I thought. I better put that on a bunch more posts. It's a really simple way to see that visually now until we get it built out in the future. And it's also a good way to know if anything is amiss. Like if you expect to have a bunch of subscribes from exclusive content and you're not, maybe something happened with your like way you're implementing it. Maybe your reusable block got whatever, things with websites, you never know. So that's a good way to see if things might be going wrong too.
Love it. It's a good temperature check, and the way that the Mediavine dashboard and health checks are a great way to keep an eye on all your ads and everything like that. This is a great way to keep an eye on all of your freebies and offerings and opt-in forms, all of that. Okay, guys, the last question, and I know we could stay here for another 4 hours, and we have so many requests for tutorials and workshops and all of that. And we hear you loud and clear, and there is a lot going on behind the scenes where we can do we have that coming. So we're going to keep doing it. We hear you. In the meantime, guys, this is the last question. Then I'm going to make a quick announcement and come back to you. I love an action item. We all do on this show. So what can our content creator audience do today after the show ends? And I will ask both of you individually. So be thinking on that one for a second. Guys, our next episode, the Summer of Live, continues next Tuesday, July 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central. I've got Morten Storgard of Passive Income Geek. He is going to be talking all the top YouTube tips for growing your audience and building out your channel. He is lovely. I met him in person overseas this summer, and he is going to be on telling us how he's grown a channel and a following using YouTube. So get your questions ready for that. Sam and Nicole, it has been absolutely lovely. Sam, I'm going to ask you first. What would you love people to go out and do right after this episode?
Okay, so 3 things. Turn on Spotlight, subscribe if you haven't already. Lock some exclusive content. Those are really great ways to get users to sign up. And also, if you haven't already, enable Grow Labs, and you'll be first to know about new features and beta A/B tests and all the fun, awesome things that the Grow team is working on.
Wait, stop, pause. What are Grow Labs?
Grow Labs is our feature so that we can test a lot of ideas that we have to increase conversion rates for all the features of Grow, whether it's subscribe or recommended content. And also, we're going to start using it for our beta testing. So
awesome.
If you want to be a beta tester, enable Grow Labs.
Now's the time. Okay, Nicole, same question to you.
I agree with all of Sam's points. Additionally, if you're watching this and you haven't turned Grow on, go turn it on and then enable at least the Spotlight subscribe and investigate the exclusive content. It's very easy to implement. If you have any questions about it, reach out to our team. You can lock, a recipe card or a portion of a post or those ebooks. Like you can do that so fast. And once you start seeing the results, you're going to You're going to want to widen that quickly. I promise.
We have predictions, we have evidence. We are actually going to share that resources. It's actually a deck so that you guys have access to all of the videos that we made. We have all of the resources that these two ladies have shared, and we have a lot of them. We are building out more. So not to worry about that. We hear you, and we're going to be giving you all the learning tools and tips. In the meantime, ladies, thank you so much for coming. It's a very exciting summer to have you on and be a part of Grow. So I'm thrilled.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Very fun.
Okay. Bye, everybody. We will see you next Tuesday with Morton and YouTube.